Hey, how's it going, guys? It's your boy Tez back at you with another episode breakdown, review, or discussion of Digimon Adventures, whatever you like to call it. So, man, let's jump right in. In this episode, we got a lot of closed ends to some of our current situations and potentially new budding situations that could be coming about. We saw some new faces, we saw some familiar faces, we got the squad reunited, and a few other things along the way, and some new information that may or may not be a key part of what's currently going on, but I find it to be a refreshing twist. So, running it back from the beginning, Eldoradimon has fallen from the Cloud server or the Cloud Island to the new location in which he's currently traveling to God knows where. After combating the Mamimon and Big Mamimon issue with Pekmon, Leomon, and all the others, the squad had to fight off Mega Seadramon and Waru Seadramon, which I found out after this was a actual Digivolution line of Seadramon. I thought it may have just been a coloring thing, they may have gotten it wrong, but nope, that was not the case. Waru Seadramon and Mega Seadramon both made an appearance. Waru Seadramon, for those of you who don't know, is a dark Digivolution line outside of the normal chain Digivolution of Seadramon, which only stops at this Digivolution. It does not go any further. So it would be Botamon or Betamon, sorry, Seadramon, Mega Seadramon, Metal Seadramon, and then Giga Seadramon if it pertained to an X antibody, or if it happened to gain an X antibody as a Metal Seadramon. And then you have the same thing with Seadramon, but then taking a more dark approach, it is Waru Seadramon. And Waru Seadramon is a more sly, cunning, and treacherous terror, similar to that, or if not more than Metal Seadramon, because we know how Metal Seadramon was back with the original DigiDestined. Like, he was relentless. That man stayed coming out of nowhere with that bum river of power beam from his nostril, which was basically a snot rocket 5000, whatever you want to call it, the bazooka nose Kamehameha, whatever you want to do. But yeah, man, so seeing those two actually at our heroes causing issues, it led me to start thinking, like, this time around we're seeing more of the dark sides of the digital world. We got to see more of this, more so with the miasma causing Metal Greymon to almost digivolve into an incomplete Machine Dramon, which would have been nice to see it happen, but no one would have been able to take him down at that point. Machine Dramon would have just ran amok, and Don Devimon would have also just, he probably would have bit the dust too, and in the same light, Ty would have been gone, and no one wanted that. But it's different. This show is a lot more centered around realistic approaches. Like, they're not being so much of a PG show, even though it is a kid show. It's a shonen show, but these light and dark components to everything really keep me going with this. Like, I'm loving to see more about what's the holy Digimon. Like, what are they really going to be about? Like, they're souping this up to really make Angemon and Angewomon and any other holy level Digimon, or the sovereign holy Digimon, or whatever they're called this time around, they're really setting them up to be something spectacular. Because looking at their lore, they seem to be divine Digimon, and even the Digimon that represent chaos, with Beelzemon, Mephistomon, I don't believe Devimon really is one, but some in that same light of the holy Digimon, you have the dark anti-holy Digimon of sort. Energy into the digital world again, like with the Calmarimon, and Koshiro is assuming that something else is getting ready to happen in the digital world, but we don't know yet. And that's when, Hikari still being there, they're all trying to be cautious of the information that they relay, because they don't know yet how anyone else would react hearing this. But also at the same time, they don't know Hikari, like we know, is also a DigiDestined, whom has yet to meet her partner, which is going to be a great thing when she does, because I cannot wait for it. And they were, again, still trying to figure out, how do we get back to the digital world? The surface issue has been resolved. The ships are no longer crashing. The Zurumon have all but fled. And that too was kind of weird. I don't know what Zurumon digivolves into. I'm going to look into that a little bit later after this video, because it may reappear or it may resurface in a different form later, or because it's still in that upper layer of the digital world. It's not gone. It just kind of vominosed. So, who's to say? But, with them trying to figure that out, they're saying we basically need to figure out how do we get back to the digital world, and Hikari's like, something's calling me. Now, any of you who have been fans of the show and have watched the first season and second season, you all know that Kari is the representation, or she is the most attuned to the light side of the digital world. Therefore, a lot of times the dark side would reach out to her, just because without light there's no darkness, and without darkness there can be no light, as far as the way the digital world is represented. So I'm not sure if the calling she spoke of was one from the dark side trying to get her there to be its to corrupt her, because the goal of the darkness is to corrupt the ultimate light, and the light is to purify the darkness and make things balance. Who knows, and we can't really say. Or it could just been Salamon in her best attempt trying to reach out to get Kari there. Like, we both saw TK and Kari get their feather, which is a representation of the angels, which we all know they have angelic holy Digimon. But who's to say? We know they get back into the digital world randomly, which it doesn't really help, because that doesn't really help them figure out how do we dive in and how do we dive back out. It's still a mystery. They'll figure it out. I'm gonna like this probably way more than how they did it in the second season, with just holding your Digivice up to a screen and the weird music that played. It was kind of cool, but that's neither here nor there. So we get the squad reunited. They help defend off from the Waru Seadramon and the regular Mega Seadramon, and then the two additional Seadramon, whom I actually felt bad for, because Zudomon came in and smacked the dog crap out of both their faces, cracked them, and they went underwater. And then you got Waru Seadramon up here trying to go against freaking the squad, and Lilymon comes up and busts him busts his little horn and cracks it. Atler Kabuterimon breaks the one on Mega Seadramon, and then they try to do some combined whirlpool move similar to if anyone remembers the episode with Ash and the Gyarados when they actually did the twist in the water. That's what it kind of gave me vibes from, in that similar aspect. And it was shot down by Garudamon. Garudamon came through with her special move, forgive me for not knowing the name, and she did the do. And we saw the reuniting of all the DigiDestined and the final DigiDestined in one spot. Tai is very confused as to why his sister's there. She said the same exact thing. Something's calling me, or more or less she has been called to the digital world. And she may have been the catalyst as to why the rest of the squad was able to get back. Though it seemed they had been teleported in, and I think that may be only an instance because of Koshiro's laptop. So it probably has a lot to do with Koshiro having technology around, more or less. Like, anyway, it was always the phone when Tai first fell in, the laptop when Koshiro finally fell in his time around. So, we'll see. But guys, man, it's been a great moment talking to you right here. This episode was really good. If I had to give it a rating, I'm gonna give it that 4. It was still good. I liked it. I enjoyed it, but I'm looking forward to what's coming next, because we saw a few things in the spoilers or the clips for the next episode that involve Patamon a lot more heavily. It looked similar to a certain Mercury and Sagittarius mode, but for a rookie, who's to say? Or it could be us, maybe seeing Angemon finally appear, but that's not here nor there. But if you like the content, guys, comment down below, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate you for coming through. Be safe, wash your hands, wash that ass. Peace.